What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Inside Jays. In this video, we're going to be talking about Addison Barger, and we're essentially going to be saying it's time. It's Addison Barger's time to shine. We're going to be going over an article on Blue Jays Nation. So let's go ahead and just dive right into that. This article is written by Damon of Blue Jays Nation. When it became evident that Dalton Varsho would be activated off the IL for the series opener against the Red Sox, there was plenty of speculation on what the corresponding roster move would be to make room for him. The most popular choices were Alan Rodin, Nathan Lucas, with a few people suggesting Addison Barger only because he needs everyday at bats. Well, it turns out Barger will be getting everyday playing time moving forward, and it won't be with the Bisons. Yesterday afternoon, yesterday afternoon, so this would be April 29th, news came down that Will Wagner was the odd man out after he was optioned to AAA, creating a very interesting roster construction for the Blue Jays, in which they now roster 7 outfielders on the 26-man roster between Dalton Varsho, George Springer, Anthony Santander, Alan Rodin, Nathan Lucas, Miles Straw, and Addison Barger. It now forces Barger back into mainly an infield role. So what does that look like for Barger moving forward? Well, he's now set up to get the lion's share of starts at third base as a strong side of a platoon option. This is a massive opportunity for Barger. For the first time in his career, he's set up to get everyday playing time and a chance to seize hold of a starting job moving forward. The Blue Jays sure hope he does just that because he represents something they just don't have much of outside of a couple guys, the ability to hit the ball over the fence. Barger is a tool shed. There's simply no other way to put it. Going off his 2024 season, he ranked in the 83rd percentile in bat speed, 74th percentile in maximum exit velocity, 68th percentile in sprint speed, and 99th percentile in arm strength. His ceiling is higher than any of the current Blue Jays bubble players, aside from maybe Orelvis Martinez. When it comes to these types of low floor, very high quality ceiling guys, it takes a little while for it to show up in games, so a little patience is needed for potentially a massive payoff. So far in 2025, Addison Barger has the hardest average exit velo and second highest max exit velo, minimum 15 plate appearances of any Blue Jay. He consistently crushes the ball when he makes contact. Excuse me. And he's cut down both his strikeout rate and chase rate considerably, 26.7%, 16.7%, and 31.9%, minus 22.9%, respectively, with the usual small sample size caveat needing to be mentioned. Bottom line is the Blue Jays have too many guys at the bottom of their lineup who are the same hitter. Andres Jimenez, Ernie Clement, Nathan Lucas, Alejandro Kirk, Miles Straw, and even Alan Rodin right now, though I firmly believe he has more ceiling than the rest of this group, are all high contact, low strikeout rate guys who run extremely high chase rates, which leads to very weak contact. That's also usually on the ground. Barger represents a change from this philosophy. He's a guy who will swing extremely hard, hit the ball extremely hard, and also whiff extremely hard, which is a trade off the Blue Jays and fans will gladly take because, quite frankly, the offensive product we've witnessed for nearly the last 3 years simply isn't it. And that's that article. So, I will admit, I haven't seen a whole lot from Addison Barger. But I will say, reading this article, and hearing about his 2024 season, which feels like it was a lifetime ago, at least for me. This Barger seems like a guy who can hit for power at third base. They mentioned that in the article that he's outside of your Vladdy Juniors and Anthony Santanders, and I guess maybe those are maybe the main two who without question have the ability to hit the ball over the fence. Barger being added to that category, it's very interesting, to hear that Barger is a guy with power. And obviously, last season, the Blue Jays struggled to hit home runs. Last season, I don't have the exact stat in front of me right now, but I'm pretty sure they were at the bottom of the league when it came to home runs. If I'm wrong in that, feel free to mention that in the comment section. But I'm pretty sure they were at least near the bottom when it came to home runs last season, which is something they need to improve on. But having a guy like Addison Barger who has the potential to hit the ball over the fence is obviously a plus. Clearly, with them not sending him down or having him be the odd man out, shows that this organization has, believes in him and believes he can be an everyday player. So it's great to see that Barger is, he's getting his shot to shine, and I really hope he does. But yeah, looking at moving away from Barger, let's talk a little Bo Bichette, as I have this other article here that's reporting that he is set to represent Brazil at the 2026 World Baseball Classic. So, according to MLB.com's Ayako Oikawa, Blue Jays shortstop Bo Bichette has expressed his desire to represent Brazil at next spring's World Baseball Classic. Bichette's mother hails from the South American nation, and his brother Dante suited up for the team this past year during the qualification tournament in Tucson, Arizona. Bichette also has eligibility to play for the United States because of his father, but it appears he wants to play alongside his brother and represent Brazil again, doing so for the nation during the 2017 qualification tournament for the World Baseball Classic. Per Oikawa's article, Bichette noted, "It means a lot to our family that my brothers and I are playing. We want to do our best to contribute to the team's victory and draw some attention to Brazilian baseball." Brazil had to qualify for next year's tournament this past spring, facing off against Colombia, Germany, and China. The two squads with the best records from the group would earn a berth at the tournament, and the nation finished with a 3-1 record, losing only to Colombia, who also qualified. To earn the second spot, the Brazilians had to beat Germany for a second time and did so with a 6-4 win. Bo's brother Dante was on the team this time around, as well as Blue Jays prospect pitcher Eric Pardinho. Heading into today's contest, when was this article? Okay, so it was yesterday. Okay. Heading into today's contest, Bichette was sporting a 290, 326, and 363 slash line with a 689 OPS and will be free agent eligible this winter. The right-handed bat has yet to hit a home run this season, but should he decide to honor that commitment next spring, he will be the biggest force on the Brazilian squad that could feature some other major leaguers and catcher Yan Gomes and Thiago Vieira. Brazil will feature in Group B, which consists of the United States, Mexico, Italy, and Great Britain, with the venue set at Daikin Park in Houston, Texas. This will be the 18th ranked nation's second time at the WBC, finishing 14th in 2013. So that's interesting. I actually, believe it or not, I had no idea that Bo was of Brazilian descent. So that is news to me. But it's great that, Bo is wanting to represent Brazil in the World Baseball Classic. I'll admit I don't really pay too much attention to the World Baseball Classic due to when it is going on. As I'm usually around that time, I'm predominantly getting back into hockey and the hockey season. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the Inside Jays podcast, go ahead and smash that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on all your Blue Jays content. Also hit that bell. That way you're notified every single time we upload a video. You can find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at Inside Jays Pod. You can find, if you prefer audio, an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you do so, feel free to rate and review. If you do so, it is greatly appreciated. But that's going to do it for me in this video. As always, let's go Jays, and I'll see you guys in the next video.